how to maximize your time. In this video, I want to share with you 5 different things that will help you to maximize your time. The first thing that will help you to maximize your time is to make the most of the time that you have to spend. For example, eating and driving. These are 2 things that we all have to do on a regular basis. However, it takes a lot of time, even hours, out of our day every single day. And what do we normally do while doing these tasks? We may go on social media, watch TV, or listen to music while driving. And this is not bad in of itself, but there's better ways to maximize and spend the time that we have while doing these things. For example, for me personally, I like to listen to audiobooks and listen to sermons and read a book while eating and driving. And this helps me to learn and grow as a person while doing things that I have to get done. We all, like I said, have to eat, and most of us have to drive every day. And this can take between 2 to 4 hours a day. So by listening to audiobooks and listening to sermons, I'm learning and growing for those 2 to 4 hours a day that I have to spend doing stuff like eating and driving. So, that time adds up over the days and years and months. So when we use our time like that to be able to learn, we're making the most of that time that we have to spend. The second way to make the most of our time, to maximize our time, is found in Ephesians chapter 5, 15 through 16, which says, "See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil." Redeeming the time comes from the Greek word exagorazó, which I'm going to put in the description because I don't think I got that right. But it basically means to buy up or to make a wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good. In other words, redeeming the time means taking advantage of every eternal opportunity that we have. For me personally, every day I pray for opportunities or open doors to be able to share the gospel with people. I don't go in every conversation I have saying, are you Christian, or, do you know Jesus Christ? But when the opportunity comes for me to plant an eternal seed to be able to share the gospel with someone, I want to take advantage of every single one of those opportunities. When I think about making the most of every opportunity we have, I think about this year. A few months ago, I finished my basketball season, and it was not that great. We didn't win many games, and it was just not that great. And coming out at about 5'11", 6 foot, with no offers, no even interest, I had a decision to make. Should I continue to play basketball to try to walk on in college, or should I spend my time doing things like working the book that I'm writing, or, I have 2 jobs at the moment, working my jobs or growing my relationship with God. I had a choice between spending my time doing that or spending my time 2 to 5 hours a day playing basketball. And I decided, hey, I'm going to continue to play basketball. I wrestled with this for a few weeks, but I made this decision because I knew I'll never have another opportunity in my life to play college basketball. I always have an opportunity to write the books and, to work and stuff, but I won't always have an opportunity that I have right now to play college basketball. That's the same way with all the eternal opportunities we have in life. They come, and if we don't take advantage of them, they'll pass away. Does this mean we should take advantage of every opportunity? No. See, the verse says, "See that you walk circumspectly, prudently, wise. Be wise in your decisions. Be smart." But every eternal opportunity, opportunities that can have an eternal significance, you gotta take advantage of those. Like every opportunity to share the gospel, every opportunity to plant a seed, take advantage of those opportunities. And that's how you redeem the time. And when you redeem the time, you will maximize your time. You make the most of the time you've been given. The next 3 ways that I want to tell you to make how to make the most of your time is I got from Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards is one of the greatest preachers, pastors in American history. And when he was about the age I am, about 19, 18 years old, he wrote down resolutions for him to live the rest of his life upon. And some of these resolutions were about his family or about relationships, but some of these resolutions was also about time management. And one resolution he wrote on time management, which is the third way I want to tell you how to maximize your time, which is he said, and I quote, resolve never to lose one moment of time, but improve it the most profitable way I possibly can. Jonathan Edwards did not want to waste a moment of time. And here's why. Stephen Lawson said about John Edwards, and I quote, he understood if he wasted his time and squandered his time, he would not most glorify God. You see, John Edwards saw as his purpose in his life, and I quote again, God's purpose for my life is that I have a passion for God's glory, and that I have a passion for my joy in that glory, and that these two are one passions, end quote. John Edwards, his purpose in life, he saw was to glorify God. And he knew that if he wasted his time, he would not most glorify God who was giving him that time. In John 9:4, Jesus Christ said, I must work the works of him who sent me while it is still day. The night is coming when no one can work. And end quote. Day in this verse means our lifespan, means our lifetime. So we have all been given a work that we must do in our lifetime. And we must do that work while we still have time. Because night is coming, because death is coming when we can no longer work. So when we waste our time, we are actually wasting our most precious gift, wasting the time that should be spent on our purpose and doing the thing that we're called to do. The fourth way to maximize your time, also found by Jonathan Edwards in his resolutions, was what he said, which is resolve that I will live so as I shall wish I had done when I come to die. Jonathan Edwards had a perspective of death in a good way. He lived in light of death, knowing that he will die, which gave him a great perspective on how to use his time in the present. For example, a lot of things in life don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like the Hawks having a number one pick coming up. I hope they draft a good guy. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. A lot of stuff is like that in life. It ultimately doesn't matter. I recently listened to an audiobook. It's called Be Your Future Self Now. And in this book, it challenged us to live 30 years in the future. And what would our future self say about us now? For example, recently my sister had a birthday and we went to Cheesecake Factory, a great restaurant. And all I could think about was, am I still going to be able to get a workout today? The gym was going to close at 6 o'clock because it was Sunday. And we're at the Cheesecake Factory about 1 o'clock. So I'm like, man, is there still time to get a workout in? So I wasn't in the moment. I was just worried about getting a workout in. But if I listened to what that book said and saw myself 30 years from now and had that perspective, I would not have thought anything about getting a workout in. I would have enjoyed that Cheesecake Factory. I would have enjoyed my spending time with my sister and my family because I saw what was important for my future self. And same way, when we have a perspective of death that's coming, we'll be able to live more in light of the present because we see what's more important. The Bible says in Psalms 90, I think verse 16, so teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. See, God has already numbered our days. He has fixed a time for us to live, and we cannot pass that time. So we've all been given a allotted time and a time that we can't pass. And it's the most perfect amount of time that can be given to us to finish our purpose. So when we live in light of this, live in light of, hey, God has given me time on this earth. It's not time to waste. It's not time to, squander, but it's time to spend working on my purpose, working on the work He's given me to do. And thus, when I think like that, I'll maximize my time. A lot of people don't want to think about the fact that we're all going to die. If you're watching this video within a year span of when I post it, 100 years from now, you're not going to be alive, right? So having that perspective of, hey, I'm going to die, will help you live better in the present. The last way to maximize your time that I want to share with you today, I also got from Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards had a perspective of heaven and hell. He had a perspective of the joys of heaven, but also the torments of hell. And he thought like this: hey, how much would those in hell want your time right now? Want that time that you have right now to be able to know God, be able to know Jesus Christ so they can be saved? How much would they want that grace period that you're in right now? And just to think about that eternal perspective of, hey, people, how badly people in hell would want my time right now, but also think about that perspective of heaven, saying, hey, my time right now affects eternity. Like, our lives are so brief, like James said, in James 4:14, whereas you don't know what will happen tomorrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away. See, our lives are so brief, they're so short, and it affects eternity, which never ends. So having a perspective of eternity and knowing that, hey, what I do now matters for me getting rewards in eternity, for me having a great inheritance in eternity. Knowing that, like Jesus said, we'll give account for every idle word we speak. How much more, how much will we also give an account for the time that God has given us to spend? How much more we give an account for that? So thinking like that, saying like, hey, I'm watching this video, wait, I'll give an account for me watching this video. Or hey, spending time playing some Fortnite, and it's been 10 hours. Not that it's wrong to play Fortnite, not that it's wrong to play a video game, but 10 hours, not that it's wrong, but realize I'm going to give an account for this. Was this the best use of my time? So having that eternal perspective, knowing, hey, was this a good use of time? Was this bad? Knowing you'll be accountable for it. So those are 5 ways to help you to maximize your time. Make sure to see things. Excuse me. Make sure to use your time the most profitable way you can at the things that you have to get done, like eating and driving. Now, make sure to redeem your time. Take advantage of every opportunity you've been given. Never waste a moment of time, but improve it the most profitable way you possibly can. Live in light of the fact that you're going to die, and live in the light of fact eternity. And when you do these 5 things, you will be able to maximize your time. Thank you for listening.